Theo-Humanism, Blog 1, The Metaphysics of School.
First off, we're going to talk about education, school, a burden the state makes us do. Society shames us for not being schooled. Teachers grade us, and the powerful want us recommitted to civics to be productive citizens. Productive citizens? That usually means corporate discipline. Who benefits? Nothing wrong being a citizen, but we're talking souls. What does it mean for a soul to be seen at school? Funny thing, Shakespeare has something to say on the matter. Remember him? 16th century Elizabethan dude, wrote lots of plays. His age was a culturally indeterminate one. That's the true non-binary culture. No need to be a Westerner to be a fan. Ever hear of Rwanda and Juliet? The French love Shakespeare. So too do the Egyptians. They call him Shakespeare. And he's all the rage in China, kicking up a slow-moving tempest there. They call him Shasabia. Okay, what does it mean to say that education is all about your soul being seen? Being seen by whom? And what does it mean for a soul to be seen? Monitored under state surveillance? Shakespeare's not pushing a male gaze or a female one, not a race-based gaze or a class-based one. He's pushing the metaphysical gaze. It's about being seen from above, on high. How does it work? Consider Shakespeare's Taming of the Shrew. Okay, first the word, shrew. What comes to mind? Get it out of your head. In his day, it applied to both men and women. A shrew comes in two types. The first goes along with the system to get ahead, doesn't want to be ennobled, just wants something from others, and is willing to go to school if that's what it takes to get it. This shrew is the networker, and that's no crime, but there's nothing more. The second type is the victim, drowned in self-pity and raging against the system. Thing is, neither shrew, neither the one who works the system nor the one who rails against it, knows what it is to be seen from above, what it is to be seen by a heavenly gaze. How do you do school in that way, in view of the heavenly gaze? The Taming of the Shrew is a story of two sisters, two souls, Bianca and Kate, living at a time when women are commodities, bartered and sold, for marriage, they're told. Bianca is a shrew of the first kind. She goes along with the school system, classics, all that training in modesty, and in exchange she gets to be a lady, whom all in society respect and admire. But it's a charade. She never knows what it means to be seen from above. She never gets a clamorous kiss from her betrothed, Lucentio. Sure, they read Ovid together, but there's no metamorphosis. After all, it's not even real, only what society expects of them. Now, there's Kate, a shrew of the second kind, raging against her lot in life, rebuking all who would be polite. But as luck would have it, she's saved from her endless rage, oddly enough, by another shrew, Petruchio. He gets all in a rage alongside her, flouting all conventions, but in devotion to her, showing he's ready to be a shrew too, in order to be with her. Petruchio, curster than his beloved, holds out another schooling. No classics, no modesty. He's not asking her to submit to conventions, just to allow him to love her, and to that she'll submit. It's love, a heavenly gaze, not worldly conventions, that tames the shrew inside both me and you. Have your studies given you knowledge of being seen from above? Let's back up to the play's beginning, the induction. A self-righteous aristocrat tricks a drunkard from the underclass into thinking that he too is a lord. Such a schooling is very cruel indeed. It robs us of our souls. Think media empires. Our souls meld into their algorithms. We're made to think we're dignified, falsely so. Like the drunkard, suddenly whatever we say matters, so it seems, but it's delusional, the idea that our souls are seen online. We're all frontline workers in the digital delusion that the pleasures we post give us value. That's background to the education of the two sisters. Bianca's education seems noble. She reads the great works. But she's scrolling, not pondering, and so there's no ennobling her soul. Strange. The upper class make a fuss over the classics to justify their upper crust appearances. They suck on philosophy's sweet dainties and mingle in a little Ovid so as not to become bored from reading Aristotle. After all, no profit grows where no pleasure is taken. But it's faux pleasure, unaware of the gaze from above. It's literary training in service of sophistry, helping the elite make a lie look comely. That makes Bianca's suitors pseudo-teachers. They pretend they're educating her, but they're really only intriguing to possess her. They teach her Latin and musical notation, all simply to decorate her in the appearance of high learning that a trophy wife should have. That's the civics of the day, a schooling in oppression, conveyed in lofty rhetoric, self-righteous, being on the right side of history and all that. And Bianca submits to the pleasure, not hers, but the pleasure of her father, as society dictates. And he's got only one goal in mind, to sell her off to the highest bidder. Kate is too shrewd. She doesn't fall for the lie, resists it wildly, won't be subdued by the calls to be polite. They tag her as froward, and so she is until she meets Petruchio. He too won't play society's charades. He matches her froward ways with his own untoward ones. He's her alter shrew, no less disdainful than she of what's expected. In a word, he's ready to go mad to be one with her. Their shared lunacy, defying the facts that all accept, is their intimate bonding. Petruchio calls her to wedded bliss, as she is, not as society demands her to be. This is education where the hard heart of the shrew is softened. Kate had been a mean-spirited shrew, Petruchio a business shrew, interested only in a marriage that would bring profit to his pocket. But now, seeing themselves, each in the mirror of the other, a metamorphosis takes place. They shed their shrewdness in a peculiar intimacy. When she scolds him, he hears it as the sweet song of a nightingale. She is unarmed, seen and loved as she is. He's not deluding her, but protecting her from being commoditized as society would want. When he declares her to be his, it's not a claim to possession, but a warning to a society that would covet her for its own end. She submits to no expectation, not even to Petruchio, only to the love he has shown her. It's not a simple romance. It's a moral bond beyond convention. It's commitment, not mere consent. She obeys because, loved, she grasps love's goodness. It's a strange formula. She obeys because she's her own master. Unbound by love from society's collusions, she is free to give her soul to another. And so she kisses Petruchio, not because duped by his words. Seen, loved, she's now unshrewd. Her will is hers, no longer a bundle of reactions to society's concoctions. She seals her new state with a kiss. And here, dear friends, is a question to stir your conscience. How have your studies given you knowledge of being drawn into love? Or has your schooling been but schooling? Access to a system that has no regard for your soul as it is, that is, as seen from above. Until the next Theo-Humanism posting, adios.